A couple of weeks ago, I decided to set out to make my home look more expensive with a budget of $41 and a weekend. The project in mind? The current worst eyesore of this entire house. Now that I have the materials and I'm prepped and ready, this is about to be that weekend.
So we are back at it again with the bricks today. I've got several more outside. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing, but the internet says that the first thing I'm supposed to do is make sure that the floor is level, and I'm honestly not entirely sure that it is. I hope that it is. Let's find that out. I hope to God that it is level, because honestly, I don't really know what I'm gonna do if it's not. Something in this has to be easy. Hopefully. All right, what are we looking at here? It is... Oh, that is level enough for me. Hold on. Wait just a minute. That's level enough. That looks perfect. Now, I bought this, oh, hi, Reg. This thin set right here, thinking that it would be fine, and like based off the research, I did said it would be fine. However, after I cut all of the bricks, the weight of it feels like it would be too much, but that's okay, because I'm just gonna use that for a future tiling project. But luckily, I ended up getting this Quikrete stuff that I've never used before. So I've got to mix that up. But I'm also realizing that I don't have bricking trowels. I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight real quick and see if I can't find some. So I am back from Harbor Freight. These suckers were really hard to find. I don't know why, but I thought for some reason that they would be in like a plastic bag. Oh, Kirby, this box is not for you. This feels a little large. I don't know that I'm gonna use that one. There are some good kind of like medium-sized ones that I will definitely end up using on these bricks. Maybe this one. I think that this is for getting in between the bricks when I get like a grouting bag and I like smash that between the cracks. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go get some of that Quikrete, whatever it's called, from downstairs. So I'm gonna go do that. So while that Quikrete, never gonna be able to say that correctly, is slacking, or I think that's correct. I'm gonna measure out how far I'm going to place the bricks. The Google says that it has to be at least 8 inches out for non-combustible materials, so this brick, that's good enough for me. Let's see. All right, that's a little over 8 inches, so that theoretically should be up to code. That looks pretty straight to me. Whew, okay. I think I mixed way too much mortar, but that was a stupid mistake. That was because I added too much water beforehand, which was not good. So I'm not gonna do that again. This is a little nerve-wracking. First brick. I just realized I didn't back butter this. Really know how to do this, but is that even like holding? I don't know why, but I'm getting the distinct impression that this is too thin. It's weird, like this stuff it's not holding quite like thin set does. Man, this back buttering shit. I'm just gonna try sticking it. See how we feel. All right, I mean, that kind of seems good, hopefully. Got my my little spacers here, and I don't really know how far of a distance I want between these, but I should probably figure this out now. I am interrupting this video to bring you to Tim's closet. Man, it's messy in here. He needs to clean this out. Ignore the state of this closet. He's only a man. This is the reality of what a suitcase looks like after it's had some wear and tear from traveling a lot. I'm not even kidding when I say this suitcase has been to, well, let's count. It went from LAX to St. Louis to Chicago to Paris, then through Paris again, then through Chicago, then back through St. Louis, then back through LAX. That's what, 9 different instances of this being tossed around? Here's the reality. We don't get to choose how our luggage gets traded once we hand it over to the airport. But we do get to choose which luggage we buy, which directly impacts how well it holds up. And not all brands were created equally.
In my experience, Level 8 suitcases hold up exceptionally well. Even after it was tossed carelessly 8 times from an airplane, I just wiped it off with some water and a rag and it was good to go. And the best part, no dents, thanks to its lightweight polycarbonate shell.
Now, normally this is the part in the video where I make Tim run around outside in ridiculous scenarios to show you guys the functionality of this suitcase. But luckily for him, he's not home right now. So instead, I'm going to show you some of the upsides and downsides of this Level 8 Voyager suitcase. An upside is that it's super lightweight. The downside is it's not heavy enough. When you see those people that walk down the middle of the airport and aren't paying attention or blocking it for everyone else, there's not enough weight behind this to really just like shove them out of the way. You know, you're gonna need a heavier piece of luggage than Level 8 has to offer if you're really wanting to choose violence. An upside is that it's very spacious. The downside is that it's really dark in here. An upside is thanks to its wide telescoping handle and exceptionally smooth wheels, moving around has never been easier, both inside and outside. A downside is, honestly for them, not for me. When someone's talking nonsense, they'll never be able to see you coming because the speed at which you can just whip around with this thing and go, what'd you just say? Is honestly unparalleled. I will put the link for this Level 8 suitcase in the description box down below. They are having a massive anniversary sale this July. It will not be going on for very much longer, so you might want to check up on that. I'd also like to give a big thank you to Level 8 for sponsoring today's video. Full transparency, this is f***ing terrifying. This is one of my more, I think, questionable moments. So I have just run into my first, I don't really want to call it problem area, but first like cut area that I have to make. I've got these little sections that I've got to fill out. So I'm just gonna make 2 quick cuts and hopefully it's the right size. So since I got kind of chewed out last time for my lack of PPE, personal, whatever it is, I'm going to show you guys my new setup. Y'all ready for this? I can smell the laundry room. Someone's using Gain laundry detergent. Oh, this is one in my eye. Okay. All right, my bricks. I think that fits perfectly. So now is where I think it's starting to get complicated because I've got to measure as I go to make sure it's the same. And I've also got to cut some brick pieces here to align with this seam so that it's straight all the way up. right, so I am pretty much out of mortar. There's only a little bit left and it's kind of like getting crumbly, so I don't feel comfortable sticking anything more on. I've got this brick that kind of like, I don't know, it just wasn't like really meshing clearly by the way that I was easily able to like pull it off. But it is almost 10 p.m. so I'm gonna leave this for tomorrow. So far I think it looks, what the fuck? I just realized that I put one of the bricks on backwards and it is way too late now. I can't move that. Oh my God. So I intentionally cut my bricks so that the old sort of like patina side would be showing, and I didn't want the inside of it showing because it has all this like sort of like gravelly stuff in it and it's too perfect of a cut. So I intentionally was like, oh, I'm gonna have all of them facing outwards. I didn't realize that I put this one on. It's straight up backwards. Oh, I mean, I've got some clay sediment at the bottom of the pan. Maybe I can try and like brush it on to try and, is it even worth it? Because I'm planning on whitewashing this whole thing. I don't know, but this is feeling like a problem for tomorrow. That. Okay, so it is the next day. I just showered and I'm back on my bullshit. These bricks, these three layers right here have not been laid yet, and the reason being is because I decided to sort of line these up. I wanted to make sure I didn't have to make any awkward brick cuts, and now I see how much room I have to work with grouting between these because it's got to reach here. So I have to about, I'd say there, good enough for me. While I'm waiting for that, whatever it is to slack, I'm wondering if I can pull some of that clay from the bottom of the pan and try and like slap it over the front of this. I don't know that that's gonna work. In fact, I'm pretty confident that it's not, but I'm gonna try it anyways. All right, there's a lot of sediment at the bottom of this. It's just like clay. Okay, I'm gonna try with that. Ooh, cool. My concrete or whatever the frosting is that goes between these bricks is ready. And that clay, which I actually got kind of a lot of it. I'm gonna do this while I let that dry before I can conduct my experiment. So I finished this last layer here and I realized that I accidentally cut a brick I was not supposed to, but it's Sunday night and it's way too late to be cutting this, like cutting a new one. So we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Just gonna put this here. We're not gonna talk about it for right now. And we're gonna move on to the very last layer. I'm so excited. So I am realizing as I am sitting here that I didn't just make one mistake with this cut, but I also did not think ahead in the sense that this part of the brick is going to be exposed. So I can't use the inside cuts. So like, because this has a dual edge, I can't use it. And most of mine are dual cuts, and I'm still facing the same dilemma in the sense that like, it's too late to cut anything. So unfortunately, it's looking like it's just gonna be like as far as I can see how far I can get. But I will post a short of this on Tuesday so you guys can see the finished product as far as the bricklaying process is concerned. Okay, I have my clay. This is basically what I was able to fish out from the pan. There's quite a bit in there actually. And I'm gonna see, oh, wrong one. Off to a roaring start. So it would appear as though it's doing nothing. I'm so with this one. Maybe if I use a tool. That's not terrible. Okay, I can live with that. I think that's better. Do you guys think it's better? Someone lie to me. Please let me know if you think it's better. All right, well there we have it for right now. We're gonna ignore this piece here and then the one in the corner. Don't be leaving comments about my outro that I missed pieces. I'm aware. So far, I think it looks pretty good.
Do you have to fill this in?
The grout lines?
Yeah, these cracks, don't you have to put goo in there?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it today, but yeah, you have to go in with like a grouting bag. It looks like a frosting bag. And then you just squeeze it into the cracks and then you soften it out with your thumb or with this tool. I did it all by myself.
You did do it all by yourself, for once.
That's a lie. I did do it by myself, and I do all the other projects by myself too.
After buying my bricks for $10 as well as cement board, screws, Quikrete, thin set, and trowels, this project so far for materials has cost me $41. And it only took me a weekend to brick. Well, kind of. But we're not going to talk about those two missing pieces. If you're interested in videos like the one you're watching now, then this video here might be worth a watch.